all the strategies in the world won't stick unless you are showing up as your most unstoppable and confident self. And this is where your habit and your mindset comes in. You know, when you walk into a room and people can just feel your energy, and your energy does the talking before you even say a word. That's the kind of energy that I'm bringing into 2025, and I want to help you do the same. The kind that makes you magnetic in every room, in every piece of content, and to every opportunity. Let's make this the year where everything changes, because this year is not just happening to you, you are creating it one decision at a time. I'm your host, Malika, content creator, entrepreneur, and your girl to personal branding and manifestation. Now, this episode, I cannot wait to share so many of my thoughts, habits, and mindset that I'm going to be implementing that you can take inspiration from. I truly want to help you just show up as your most unapologetic self, really create amazing habits, be the person that when you walk into a room, your energy is just so magnetic. When I first started to think about what are the habits that I really want to stay true to and stay committed for this year, the first thing that popped in my head, of course, was manifestation rituals. I feel it's been slacking a little bit. I feel like maybe I've been slacking a little bit. I feel like I could really do so much better. So here are some of the things that I'm gonna start doing. Okay, first of all, I'm going to reintegrate my daily morning visualization, visualizing future memories. And this is something that I used to do a lot before, and somehow, I don't know why, I kind of started slacking off on it. And I really want to get back into it. When you are manifesting, whatever it is, like an opportunity or a milestone or something that you really want for yourself in your life, right? So we all know that visualization can really, really help for that to happen, right? Because it helps breaking down limiting beliefs that are unconscious, and you're not consciously breaking limiting belief, but it's making your brain believe that this memory that you're thinking of is real. Because it's kind of the same as when you were in a dream. When you're in a dream state and sometimes you can't tell that you are in a dream. So it's kind of the same thing. So even though you might know that you are sitting on your couch and you are visualizing, your brain on the other side, it doesn't really know the difference, right? It's kind of why we feel so anxious when we're thinking of things that didn't happen. It's the same thing. And so for me, doing future memories is going to be so important this year. And this is what I'm going to be doing, okay? What I love to do when I'm visualizing, so let's say I'm manifesting a milestone in my business, okay? I'm going to be what am I wearing, right? What am I wearing? Am I celebrating? Am I in the moment where I am in the milestone, or am I afterward where I'm celebrating with my family, with my friends, right? And I'm thinking how do I feel? And I really there's points in my life where I have been manifesting and doing a visualization where it felt so good to be in that moment that I started crying because I was feeling it so much. And this is the beautiful thing about it, is that then you actually start to embody these emotions that are attached to that manifestation, so that you can recalibrate your vibration and be on the same vibration as what you are manifesting. Okay, and also the fact that your brain is seeing these future memory over and over again, it starts creating that as a real memory, right? It's a memory. It's when you think of a past memory, but it's a memory that hasn't happened yet, but it will happen. And so this is why I call it memory, future memory visualization. And this just really helps normalize that memory for yourself. It's oh, I don't believe it can happen. But then the more you are thinking about it and you're seeing it happen over and over and over again, it's like, oh shit, like, okay, yeah, it's happening, you know? And so for me, this is something so powerful that has tremendously like lifted me up, has helped me manifest. And yeah, and something else that is actually pretty new for me is to write a future event and memories that are bound to happen. And then you write it out as if it was the end of that day and you're like looking back at that day. And this is something I have never tried before. Actually, that's not true. Oh my God, that's not true. Oh my God, I tried it once. And literally everything I wrote before that day happened. Which was like, literally, I wrote down everything that I wanted to happen with like my holidays, my family, everything, because I was having some anxiety around something. And I was like, oh shit, like I don't want that to happen. So I got anxious and I started being like, oh my God, this new ritual that I heard about, I want to try it. And I did. And why it works so well is because it really calms your anxiety so that you don't, number one, self-sabotage, but also you enter the day in a state of mind that is so optimistic that it's literally the law of attraction. Like you start attracting that day, literally, and you start making it happen. So, okay, but anyways, other than that, I haven't tried it like on a regular basis. So I really I'm going to start to do that like maybe weekly, maybe daily. I haven't decided yet, but I definitely want this to be part of my daily manifestations rituals. And when you are manifesting, something so powerful that you can do when you're writing or even when you're visualizing is to really think of the details. And so you're really thinking of like, how am I feeling? What am I smelling? How is my energy, right? All these things, it's like, it makes it so much more real and so much like literally like you live that day. You know what I'm saying? And now when you truly want to enter a state of mind where you are on top of your game, you feel like a bad bitch, okay? Number one thing that fucks that all up is doubt. Doubt and resistance are your worst enemies to your manifestations. And so something else that I'm going to integrate in my ritual for manifesting is going to be journaling every single time I come across resistance, and I'm going to remove it. I find that it should be more prioritized because these are the kind of things that you like. I feel like for me, I kind of like push on the side and I'm like, oh, this is not really important. Like doing this in my business is more important, or doing this is more important, or whatever, right? But then I'm thinking like, actually, you know what? This is the kind of thing that puts resistance in my momentum, that puts resistance into my manifestations. And so if I want to manifest more effectively and like more like efficiently, I need to remove that resistance. I need to remove those doubts and not just be like, yeah, it's okay, just put them aside, because they're there for a reason. They're there because there's a seed in my head that I need to take out. And if you want to do this and you're like, okay, like me too, like I don't want to have doubts in my head, obviously, but you don't really know like what are the steps, what can you do, you know? And honestly, I like to keep shit simple. You know, I like to keep shit simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. So these are the 4 steps that I like to do, okay? So number 1, I'm going to be like, what's the resistance that's coming up? And, you know, as much as this sounds like such a simple question, very important to be super specific. The most specific that you can be, because then you're really getting to the root, you know? Then I'm going to be like, okay, why is it there? Like, what's the proof? What's the story that I'm telling myself? And then I'm going to be like, what proves this wrong? Like, you know, like if I'm being actually rational right now and I'm embodying that bad bitch energy who's fucking unstoppable, like what actually proves this wrong, right? Like, how am I taking out this doubt, right? And then after, I'm going to be like, what's the new belief that I want to have around this, right? And then with that, you're going to be like, okay, what are the actions that I can take to strengthen that new belief? And just like really dedicating a lot more time to doing that inner work and doing these rituals because I feel like these are the kind of shit that like push you so far. Next for my list on this year, okay, is going to be nourishing my new self concept. Because truly, when you are embodying that unstoppable bad bitch version of you who is so confident, you're always growing your self concept, right? And so for me, I'm gonna write down every single thing that I want to be true for myself, okay? And I'm going to sit in front of the mirror and literally stare at myself in the face. And I'm going to tell myself these affirmations, and I'm going to imagine that like the person in the mirror that's telling me these things is my future self who is already that person. And I find that like the most powerful way to use affirmations is not to have them like so like generic, like I love myself, or like I like, you know, like I love to do them like very detailed, very specific, and in a way that like it really speaks to my soul, like it really lights something in me, you know? And the way that I say it, I'm not just gonna be like, I love myself, I am this, I am like my next level self, I'm this. Like, no, like I'm going to like really embody the energy of like that new self, right? Instead of being like, I have a good money mindset, I'm abundant, oh, da, 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 whatever. Like, let's say instead of that, I would be like, my mindset is on a whole nother level when it comes to money. I know I'm so abundant. Everything around me is attracted to give me money because of how worthy I am and how much I deserve it and how much abundance is flourishing all around me. You know, like, I don't know, something like that. I don't know, I kind of made that on the spot. But I hope you kind of get to feel the energy that it's so different. It's so much more impactful. And if you truly, truly want to steal that little like ritual that I'm gonna do, like I find that this is like the best way to do it. And something that I'm really going to have fun doing this year is going to be reading new books, because I want to acquire new skills. I want to, again, like I said, like develop this like new self concept always, right? Before I was always like not really reading that many books because I find that I was not really that interested in it. You know what I mean? But recently, I started to find creators that have written books in which aligns with me so freaking well. And like, I was like, oh my God, this resonates with me so much. I'm reading the book. It's like so freaking amazing. Right now, I'm reading the book called Buy Yourself the Damn Flower by Tam Kaur. And I don't know, it just really changed my perspective on how much I love reading. And I'm like, yeah, this is so true. Like I can love reading a book when it feels so aligned with me and the way that like my communication style is, and like how like a book has to resonate with me. I hope this makes sense. But anyways, reading more books is definitely on my list. Now, next up, I want to start nourishing my self-love, because this is something that is an ongoing, never-ending thing. And truly, the more you have self-worth and self-love, regardless of exterior validation or exterior factor, the more you truly become that unstoppable bitch, because there's nothing that can keep you down. Like there's nothing that like can happen and you're like, oh shit, this means something bad about me, or this means that I'm less whatever. You know, like that doesn't happen because you have such this grounded energy, of confidence, like nothing of that matters. If you're wondering like, okay, how the fuck do I embody that like unstoppable bad bitch energy that like when I walk into a room, like my energy does the talking for me, my confidence is radiating, my energy is radiating, I'm literally attracting so many opportunities to me, I'm magnetic in my content, I'm magnetic to opportunities, I'm magnetic when I walk into a freaking room. if I'm really being honest, this is truly going to come by wanting to dream bigger and think bigger for yourself. These are the kind of things that will happen from you letting yourself dream bigger and have bigger goals for yourself. Think in a bigger vision that is literally unstoppable, as if you were unstoppable, because I'm sure that you're always toning yourself down. You're like, oh no, but like that's a bit too big for me. Or like, oh no, I'm not ready for that yet. Like I should wait until I start thinking about like this goal that I want. Like, no, this energy that you want, that like attracts all the opportunities, that you're magnetic, whatever. This is all gonna come from you like letting yourself dream big. And I really want to read something to you that I wrote that I really think is going to resonate with you. And this is the feeling that I want you to remember and live your life by. Okay, so this is how it goes, okay? Remember when you were a kid and nothing felt impossible? Like you weren't just dreaming, you were planning. You were going to be an astronaut, a pop star, the CEO of everything, and somehow also save the planet and become friends with aliens. Those dreams weren't small, safe, or realistic. They were big and bold because no one had told you yet that they couldn't happen. Back then, you didn't overthink or doubt yourself. You didn't worry what people would say or whether you were qualified. You just knew you were destined for something extraordinary that was bigger than yourself. It was that fearless, unstoppable energy where the only limit was how big your imagination could be. Those childhood dreams weren't random. They were a glimpse of what is possible when you finally allow yourself to believe fully and unapologetically in the bigness of your potential. The kind of energy that gets you out of bed before the alarms even goes off. The kind where you're so excited about what you're building that you can't wait to start the day. The kind of energy you tap into when you reconnect with those big dreams and audacious dream you had as a kid. It's not just about motivation, it's about alignment. When you wake up knowing that you're creating something meaningful, something bigger than yourself, it's like every part of you comes alive and you are finally living. It's like that fire in your soul that says, this is why I am here. She's unstoppable. You see what I mean? This feeling right now that you're feeling after hearing this out, that is the feeling that you need to hold on to in your soul every single day when you truly are crafting the life of your fucking dream. Because your business is ready to become bigger. You are ready to be a content creator. You are ready to reach your full potential. You are ready to manifest all of these amazing things in all different areas of your life that you think is like too big or whatever. I shouldn't be like thinking about that yet. Like, no, there is no limit. You are ready now. You are ready now, okay? With all that said, here are the 3 habits that I'm going to implement and add so that I can keep this feeling inside of me every single day to really be fucking unstoppable. First of all, looking at all the proof that I have that this is possible, that this is something that I can achieve, right? So I'm going to look at all my past success to back me up, kind of like a cushion, right? And then I'm going to take really bold actions that maybe it feels like it doesn't even make sense for the stage that I'm at. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't really make sense and I'm just still making it because I want that quantum leap. And this is something so important to know, is that like, if you are always taking small action, like at some point, like you're running in circle, right? And so taking bolder moves, bolder action, and along with that is having a positive outlook, right? Because when you are thinking in a positive way, you always have an advantage. This is so amazing to have because every time that you are nourishing your self-belief, if you're always looking at everything that you want for yourself and all your goals in the most positive light, you're not thinking, what can go wrong. You're not thinking like, oh my God, but what if this? What if this? You're like, oh my God, what if this happens and it's the most amazing fucking thing? And then what else can I do? Okay, because when you're thinking more positively about your hopes and goals, all right, this also, if ever something happens that like you're not really reaching them, you're not in a negative state. So you're already in a higher vibration. So then it's so much easier to find solutions. Next is going to be practicing giving no fucks. All right, I already have very little fucks to give, I find. But I find that you can always like up level something, okay? And I feel like a lot of you could really benefit from practicing giving no fucks. This is what it's going to look like. Filming a lot more in public without feeling a single shyness. Because I do already film in public, like that's not a problem for me. But I feel like there are moments where I'm like, there's a little a little nervous. So for me, it's going to be removing that completely. Like literally, like the most less fuck you can give. So practicing that a lot and like putting myself in a situation where there's like a lot of fucking people and feeling myself there, and maybe in the situation where it's maybe not the best time to film, you know what I mean? Okay. Then I also have going out of my way to be in a new situation and pitching myself to bigger opportunity without giving a fuck of the outcome. So for me, this is going to be like, not being scared of rejection, right? I feel like this is a big thing, and this is a lot of the time why we don't want to go for bigger. It's like you're scared of like, I'm gonna say no, whatever. So for me, going out of my way to be in new situations that I've never been in before so that I can adapt, I can evolve, and also pitching myself to bigger opportunities, right? That it's either like connections that I want to create or it's that events that I want to make. But just knowing that I am constantly pitching myself to these big ass things, I know are going to start rewiring my brain to achieve even bigger milestones that I already have. And then I also have dressing bolder. So I'm going to do a closet reset. Now I have been wanting to do this for a while. I even started like buying some new jewelry. Also just for like no reason, let's say I'm going to a coffee shop, I'm going like just like a casual place, because I really want to feel like I am on a next level, and I feel like this just boosts your confidence. And so I've been creating a board on Pinterest to get that going for myself. Okay. And in truth, when I think of this year being the bad bitch energy year for myself, right? And if you also want to see like these big changes in your life, okay, you want to start thinking as a leader and being the one who sets the example. And this all starts from within with your energy and being really intentional with the energy that you are embodying, because this will really radiate and attract all, and this will basically dictate all the manifestation that you attract and make happen. Because an energy is so much easier to embody when you get very specific on what exactly it is, right? And for me, I know exactly what that is. And if you also know what yours is, well, you can take a notebook, write it down so that you can remind yourself to embody that every single day. But I want to read you another little something that I wrote into the kind of energy that I am bringing into 2025. My energy is the kind that makes other people's head turn, the kind that makes you wonder, how is she so confident? When I walk into a room, I want my energy to do the talking before I even say a word. I'm about that quiet, unshakable confidence, the kind that feels grounded, powerful, and magnetic. The kind of energy where people can't help but notice you, not because you're trying to be the loudest, but because you are radiating with self-assurance and leadership. It's inspiring and makes you want more for yourself. I am embodying the most magnetic energy, a mix between warmth and approachability, realness, authenticity, but also making it clear that I know exactly who I am and what I bring to the table and the value that I hold. It's like that perfect balance between being the woman who empowers others and the one who makes them think, wow, she's fucking unstoppable. This energy radiates. It feels calm, powerful, and yet impactful. My aura leaves people feeling lifted up, curious, and in a positive light. So that is just a little insight into my energy that I am embodying for this year, and I hope that this gives you some inspiration to kind of like create your own. But just reading it, I feel like you can sense it, you know what I mean? And this is why like I find that like doing these little like journaling prompt is so impactful. Now the next thing for me, especially when you want to be a powerful leader voice in your industry or just in your life in general, you really need to get clear on what that voice actually is, right? And so again, like this goes into journaling, knowing really what you stand for so that you can stay grounded in that and not have anyone shake you up. And so for me, I know for sure that like I am all about having that balanced life where your business isn't running you, but you are running your business. I know that I'm all about empowering other women, stretching the limits of what feels possible for them. I'm about bringing back that unstoppable self-belief without limit and really diving into your true passion, what you really love, and really living by that and standing by that. I'm really not about the latest trends or the algorithm changing or anything like that. And I feel like you all know that because of the fact that I use my voice so much to say it, because I am not about that. I feel like that makes your head explode. You know, I am all about what you truly have to offer, sitting in your power, becoming a powerful voice in whatever it is that you are doing. And I'm all about living your life in alignment and where you feel the most successful. And so for me, I know my voice, I know where I'm grounded, and this makes you unstoppable. And so this is where you want to ask yourself, like, you know, what is my own voice telling me? Like, what, you know, if I shut out all the noises from everybody else, like, what is my own voice telling me? Now, I hope that you got so much insight. Let me know in the comment what stood out to you or what you will start implementing. I'm really curious to hear more about like what makes you feel unstoppable and what are some of the things that like really gets you into that bad bitch energy. If you found this helpful, make sure to send it to someone, send it to a friend that you think it will really help them change your fucking life and really get real. If you're not already joined into the free Facebook community group that we have, don't forget to join it. The link for that is going to be in the description, and I will see you next week. Stay amazing. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.